Nobody needs an AR-15, right? Not so fast. Need is a matter of personal perspective, and today I'd like to share with you 5 of mine. These are 5 of the reasons why I personally choose to have an AR-15, and I'm hoping that through seeing this and hearing this, maybe it changes your perspective as well. Now, before we go any further, let's do a little bit of house cleaning. An AR-15 is not an assault rifle. It's a semi-automatic rifle. It doesn't shoot fully auto. It's one trigger squeeze for one round. Now, I do think that gun owners do ourselves a grave disservice by not being honest. This is a weapon that is designed to kill, and that's something that we're going to have to come to terms with and be more honest and transparent about moving forward if we want people to respect our opinion. Now, that reality might seem harsh, but it's the reality nonetheless. My number one reason for having an AR-15 is home defense. I simply do not know who is going to be coming through my door, how many people, and what they're bringing to do my family or me harm. I'm under no obligation to do the person that's chosen to come through my door any favors. In fact, I want the odds so slanted in my direction that there's no way my family's going to suffer. Which actually brings me to my next point, riots. Living in Portland, you're aware that riots can spring up anywhere at any time. Armed protesters with everything from rocks, bats, pipes, and firearms hell-bent on doing destruction is not the place you want to find yourself. I should know, I spent 6 months working security during the George Floyd protest. Having a firearm with the ability and capacity to get you out of a situation like this could very well be the difference between making it home and not. Which brings me to the third point, violent extremism. As a black man in America, one of the things that I've always been concerned about is extremism. Unfortunately, in the last few years, with the polarization of politics, we've seen more and more domestic terrorism. The thought of someone coming after me or my family, specifically based on my race, absolutely terrifies me. Again, I'm under no obligation to be a victim. If you're aware of the things that have been happening in this country over the past few years, you know that this is something that is a very real possibility. My next and possibly biggest concern is war. If you're watching Ukraine, this is not something that's completely out of the realm of possibility. I don't want to be in a situation where I have to defend not only my family, but my community, potentially my country, and not be armed. If you look at the Ukrainians, this is a country with extremely high gun control measures. And when they were invaded, they were behind the 8 ball, and they were relying on the United States to provide them with firearms. And last but not least, for the sake of this conversation anyway, it's my right. Guys, listen, the Second Amendment is a guaranteed right under the Constitution. I know that people say shall not be infringed and end the conversation there, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. But what I do want you to understand is that I served 6 years in the military defending the Constitution of this country, and countless other people have served and died for the rights that we have. We can't give those up, guys. On November 8th, you're going to have the opportunity to vote against Measure 114. This overreaching piece of legislation will do nothing to stop the next mass shooting. What it will do, however, is criminalize law-abiding Oregonians. This is not good for Oregon. This is not good for me. And this is not good for our country. Please vote against Measure 114.